So, our next stop is the Dean's office. However, there are actually a few more things to do beforehand. Yep, if we talk to the janitor here, it'll actually kick off one hidden side quest. So, there are actually 3 quests available to us at this point that all need to be done before we go to the student council and finish up this day. Now, these are all technically hidden side quests because they're not really mentioned in a bracer log or anything, and we don't have access to a bulletin board. As you can see, this one revolves around putting up the festival banners. There are some spots that are lacking in banners, and we need to find all of them and put up banners there. So, here is the first spot with no banner, which we automatically saw, but there are a few more. Notice how there are pennants on both sides of that archway, but if we go around here, the backside of this archway does not have pennants on it. This is the kind of thing that we're supposed to find for this quest. So about these quests, like I said, they're all technically hidden quests, and none of them are actually worth any BP. But you still have to do them if you want a max BP run, because what they do is they add extra BP to the main quest for helping out with the festival. So, yeah, like I said, you're on a max BP run, you actually do have to do all 3 of these. There are 3 of them, and you have to do them all right now. So, this is our real only gameplay during the school segment at this point. Also, I feel like that pennant's a little bit misaligned proportionally with Chloe's sprite, but oh well. So every time we do that, Janitor Parks just teleports right over and puts up the decoration. So there are actually 3 spots to find that don't have decorations on them, so we've already found one of them. There's actually another reason why you want to do the Academy quest, and it should be immediately obvious once we finish all of them. I wonder what these flags represent. Like, they kind of look like country flags, but obviously they're not any real-world countries. Maybe they are for particular regions in this game. Kind of wish there was a little bit of backstory on exactly what these flags were. But anyway, that's one decoration put up. So as you can see there, okay, there are flags on both sides of the cafeteria. Flags on both sides of there. Generally, you just want to look for places where you have an exclamation mark appear. Girls' dormitory has 2 of those pendants. But there's one suspiciously blank wall on the auditorium. This is where the play will be held, so we obviously want to put up a flag here. Or tapestry, as Chloe's calling it. And once again, the amazing teleporting janitor strikes again! And quick cut, and the flag is flying. So that's 2 out of 3 done. Now there's one more. Oh, okay, yeah, here's the last one. So notice how there are flags flying just above the door of the girls' dorm, but if we go to the boys' dorm, there's actually nothing over the door. Can be a little hard to notice that one, because it's actually on a door you can enter. And as always, we help put it up, and that should complete this one. No missed decorations. That should help the school festival be just a little more professional looking. They're actually called Festival Help Quests. They're kind of a unique thing in this game, that only appear at this one point and nowhere else. Okay, my notes tell me to talk to this guy in the faculty lounge. Alright, that's why. Yeah, you find out that one of the teachers here, Mr. Ratio, which is again kind of a strangely fitting name, is actually from Roland's. And his parents are going to be visiting to attend the festival. That's pretty nice. Wonder what kind of criticisms that you would have. So, our next helping out with the Academy quest will be upstairs in the clubhouse. But before we do anything else, you actually want to examine the door to the student council room during this segment of the game. Yeah, they're having guy talk, I guess, and Hans is basically becoming Kenji from Persona 3. And we're getting out of here right now. Yeah, that's just kind of a fun little conversation that you can quite easily miss. But anyway, if we go into the material archives rather than going to the Dean, we actually have access to our second Academy quest. Everyone's preparing for the festival, and Logic is still being his usual self and obsessed with studying. So we need to find some research materials for him. Also, if you look closely at this room, you can see there's actually some pinned butterflies on the wall, which is interesting. All 3 volumes of the Ruin Economics series, otherwise known as the best sleeping pills in this region. I don't know, not to knock economics. I actually know people who do actually do economics for a living, so it's probably more interesting than I give it credit for. So yes, we're hunting for some lost books. And hopefully he is the first to know, because in my practice playthrough I may have gotten all the books but forgotten to return them to Logic. So yeah, don't do that. Anyway, the books look like this. They can be quite easy to miss. But there's Ruin Economics 1 in the boys' locker room. I wonder what someone was doing with it in there. Now, there is another volume of Ruin Economics, and I think it actually has just magically shown up since I started the quest, because it's actually in the faculty lounge. There it is on the table there. Maybe that was here before and I just didn't notice it. So there's Ruin Economics 2, and if I'm remembering right, Ruin Economics 3 is in one of the dormitories. I'm going to try and not rely on my notes as much as possible for this. Aha! Yes, it is in the boys' dormitory. Ruin Economics 3. See, that was actually pretty easy. Okay then. Well, this is actually important to know because that's where the third Academy quest will take us. Serving as a military stronghold. And the old Academy ghost stories. Seems like most schools have one of those. Anyway, let's head back to Logic and give him the 3 volumes of Ruin Economics. This one is pretty easy to finish. You just need to remember to talk to him in the first place. I admit these campus quests can be quite easy to miss considering that you're told to go straight to the Dean, and if you do that, then you will actually miss out on all 3 of them. Another reason why in this game it's great to try and talk to everyone at every opportunity you have, because otherwise it's quite easy to miss hidden quests like this. Like I said earlier in this playthrough though, Trails in the Sky FC at least does not have much in the way of hidden quests. Cold Steel is way more sadistic about hidden quests, so if you're playing that game, you definitely want to try and talk to everyone as much as possible. Not really sure why this helps with the entire academy, unless he's showing off his paper to the wider world. But we have to play. He has his research, I guess. Research materials hunt completed. Now for the third quest, we actually need to go to that one area of the school that I told you we didn't have business with earlier, but we do now. Right through here. You may have discovered this place earlier, and before I enter, I just want to say, I'm going to go quiet for a second because I want to really draw your attention to the music in this place. This is actually a pretty cool song, but I still don't get why it does that. Like, it sounds like it's actual people just saying doot, 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 doot. It's just... So, yeah, I like to call this place Doot Doot Schoolhouse because of that. The rest of the song is pretty cool though, I will admit. And back to the Doot Doots. And for what we heard, they reconverted it for military purposes earlier. And this guy is the resident lazy bum of the school. Guess every school has to have one. I'm kind of impressed this guy decided to go and sleep in a monster-infested place, though. So, yeah, we definitely can't have monsters roaming around while this school is open to the public, so this obviously does help with the school festival. Well, fortunately for you, bringing in people for the play trained in combat means that, well, you know, we can actually do actual combat too. This is why I removed Joshua's quartz earlier, because we only have access to Estelle and Chloe for this segment. So Joshua's good quartz can be really useful here. Let's see if I can actually make, so currently I have 4 winds. Scent is kind of bad when it comes to attracting monsters, but if I manage to put 8 wind on Estelle... Actually, 8 wind plus a little bit of other stuff, I think. Oh, right, she doesn't have a single line. Derp. Yep, they all have to be on the same line, which I think I still can do. If I put all the wind on the one line. There we go, Aerostorm. Yeah, I do have access to the improved version of Aerial now. Expensive in terms of EP, but it has a massive area of effect and is pretty powerful too. I'm either going to be dropping Earthwall information for that though, which is a problem, but I want to keep information on just for the purpose of the playthrough. But I can re-equip Petrify. As for you... yeah, I can get range 1 Hellgate on her, which will be pretty useful. Okay, so, welcome to Doot Schoolhouse. The Doot Schoolhouse is infested with Spiderses. The Spiderses are extremely fast, especially, I know I keep saying this is harder on Nightmare, this is harder on Nightmare, this is harder on Nightmare, but yes, on Nightmare, these things are actually incredibly dangerous because they can triple turn you really easily, and you only have 2 party members, so, yeah. As it says, extremely agile. And as you can tell, yeah, we're actually getting the mini-boss theme for these things. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch my accessories after this and equip the... I knew these things could inflict some status on you, but I didn't realize, kind of forgot it was poison. I should have seen that coming, because, you know, they're spiders, of course they poison you. Like if you mention the fact that, oh, I'm Australian, I should know that. Yeah, to be honest, I've never really liked that stereotype. It's kind of dumb. Lut here itself is probably... I guess I can have you tear yourself. Well, if they're gonna take one party member away from us, at least it wasn't the healer. Yeah, these things are crazily fast. Thankfully, though, I have an attack in. I might as well just go straight for Blue Impact. You don't want to underestimate these spiders. They're actually pretty dangerous, because again, we only have 2 party members here. And they're worth a lot of experience too. But even better, they're worth a lot of time seepeth. Heal now. That's pretty much a full heal at this point. Okay, yeah, Silver Earring. I got a lot of these, I may as well equip them. So, you have to clear out every spider inside the Doot Schoolhouse in order to... and yeah, set means we can't really get preemptive strikes on them. In order to complete this quest, is what I was saying. And honestly, these things tend to get so close together and they're so fast that maybe Aerostorm was not a good idea. I definitely want Aerostorm a little bit later in the chapter, but maybe now is not the best time. Estelle isn't that fast, so she doesn't make as good use of high cast time arts as Joshua does. Aerostorm does look pretty cool, though. Yeah, don't want to underestimate these Spiderses. They are very, very fast, and pretty dangerous, too. And I was wondering when Estelle would get that. Yeah, she does tend to learn that during this chapter. So I guess I can show off combat in the next battle that I get into. But first I heal. Okay, nothing in there. You do want to examine every nook and cranny of the Doot Schoolhouse, though, because, well, you can probably tell, also there's another Spiderses here. Yes, for those wondering, I am referencing a troll fanfiction by calling them Spiderses. Because, yeah, I like parodies of terrible fanfiction. That's something that you probably already know about me. I could mention something else about these Spiderses in terms of their names eventually, but I think now this fight's almost over, and in fact, this should finish it off. Yes, it should. I think Chloe should be leveling up soon, too. So you might be worried about Joshua falling behind in terms of experience here, but I've said before, this game has some pretty severe rubber band experience scaling. Also, this door is different to the others, and there's a statue in this room. But that's not important to us right now. But yeah, Joshua, once he rejoins, will catch up pretty quickly. This is one of the few times that we're actually getting battles without Joshua in our party, though. EP charge. Feed me, Seymour! I have no idea how that line is said, because I've never seen that play or movie or whatever it is. I know that's Little Shop of Horrors, I know it's referenced a lot, but, yeah, don't really know much about it. Anyway, there are actually 2 chests in here, so that's why I want to explore every nook and cranny of the Doot Doot Schoolhouse. I will continue to call it that for the rest of the foreseeable future, because seriously. Also, there's a nice terrace there, but nothing else. And a chest that seems to be teaching this empty class of non-existent students. Reviving Balm. The item fairy has not made her second rounds today. That's another chest quote that I like. Well, see ya, Professor Chest. I could make a Manuela joke here, but, well, I guess I already did. So yeah, these enemies here are called Warp Spider, which is the name of an Eldar unit in Warhammer 40,000, and also Dawn of War. I don't think... Are Warp Spiders in Dawn of War 2? I know they were in Dawn of War 1. Yeah, Warp Spiders in that were an Eldar unit that had teleport packs. And were actually kind of, from what I've heard, pretty overpowered in... Also, I promised to show comment, and I haven't done that yet. Whoops. Pretty overpowered in the original game, from what I heard. Like, the Eldar were supposed to be super specialists. They have a lot of troops that are extremely good at one thing, but terrible at everything else. But from what I've heard, they're actually just generally good at everything. Like, Warp Spiders have better armor than Terminators, which are like the Space Marine ultimate unit in that game, and Warp Spiders aren't even an ultimate unit for the Eldar. And I didn't get to show off Comet. Comet is actually a ranged attack, so it's kind of useful, really. I find it one of Estelle's better crafts, even though it is a line AoE, which, like I've said in this game, line AoEs generally don't see a lot of use, but Estelle's Comet's a bit of an exception because it is one of the few forms of ranged attacks that she has access to. It's also decently powerful. Yeah, I wish Hurricane was more useful. I get that Hurricane might be a little overpowered if it was any stronger, but it's just strange how Hurricane is like almost half the damage of a basic attack. But yes, don't worry, no more spiders in your building. We don't have to get Merriam-Webster in here. Yes, the spiders does end with a character named Merriam-Webster resolving the entire plot. It's bizarre. That's why I named my Arachnid Miriam in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Yes, I like my very weird in-jokes that only I will probably get. And shutting that place down just in case more spiders appear. But good to know that if people are coming to this school and it's open to the public, they're not going to be bitten to death by horrible evil spiders. And as you can see, and yeah, that's actually Joshua in that achievement thumbnail there, completing all 3 of the Academy quests is worth an achievement, so definitely make sure you do that if you're on a 100% run. That is everything we can do at the Academy right now, so it's time to head to Dean Dumbledore and progress things onto the festival itself. Yeah, turns out Jill's already here. Well, she says level-headed, so hopefully it's not as crazy of an idea as the ones Jill usually comes up with. Hopefully that's not a list of students who are going to be expelled. Well, that's already ominous. Considering how much quote-unquote fun Jill has already had with this festival, we should be worried. Very, very worried, especially when she makes that expression. Oh, don't worry, now that we've completed all 3 of those quests, she's sure to be a success. It's now worth the maximum amount of BP it can possibly be. Although, never say anything like that. And we actually do have Jill following us now, but, well, she can't take part in combat or anything like that. There's also no real reason to heal now, because we're not going to be getting into a fight for a long time. So let's meet up with these two at the cafeteria. And yeah, we already overheard some awkward conversations between you two. Thankfully, Jill didn't get to hear that. So, obviously this is telling you that once you order food, things will be progressing. But I think we can safely head on to the festival. There's not much that we have left to do elsewhere in the academy. Now the player's language is rubbing off on you. You know the best way to get motivated, if 3 houses have taught me anything, is to eat a meal. And secretive and suspicious as always. And so, the festival awaits! Toast, with soft drinks, yeah, of course. Stage is set and the curtain is up. The red corner makes the first... Oh, wait. I normally played with the Pokemon Battle Revolution announcer turned off, but his dialogue could be kind of funny sometimes. Okay, we're about to be flooded with visitors. We should all best be prepared. And Estelle is saying exactly what I'm thinking. There's actually a lot of new recipes that are available at the school festival. They're thankfully not exclusive to the festival, but we won't have a second chance to get most of them for a long time, so it's recommended that you buy everything you can for now. Oh, don't worry, that's not going to affect anything. Estelle is going to be eating a lot. In fact, we can actually force feed you all of the food if you're worried about that. And yet more of this secretive student council business. Still very mysterious. And by that you mean the kids from the orphanage, I guess. Yeah, those two of men getting on about that kind of thing. I can imagine him saying that in a very deadpan way. Well, you see, things are kind of awkward. But fortunately, the PA system is going to break that awkwardness. And we have amazing music here. I really, really, really love this song. I say that about a lot of songs in this game, but this song in particular is just great. And so here we are for the school festival. Not a lot of the visitors in name, sadly. But my favourite part of the song is coming up in a moment. I'll let it play while I buy festival food. Oh, hey Niall! Didn't expect to see you here. Was that special thing you were covering, the festival? Yeah, I guess he's not going to reveal his sources this time. So, for most people, I'm guessing this will be the first time they're seeing the milk crate, because you can get that back in Roland, but it's only before you leave during Chapter 1, so it's quite easy to miss. Speaking of which, if you haven't got the recipe for apple ice cream by now, I would recommend getting it here. Obviously. These other two types of ice cream are not nearly as lucrative in terms of cash. But speaking of cash and being lucrative, I would recommend buying a lot of rainbow jelly beans. Let me see how much I can afford. Well, yeah, the school's certainly getting a lot of funding from this. So yeah, they restore CP, and quite a bit of CP too. So, like I said, I'd recommend stocking up on them. This guy looks like Luke, but he isn't Luke. I may as well get all the recipes out of the way now. I'm being a man of my word. Estella's going to be totally fit for doing the play because I'm feeding all the food to Joshua. So while it's not 100% essential, there's actually someone we can meet on the first floor of this place. Actually, several people. One cool thing about the Academy Festival is there are a lot of familiar faces who are visiting. First up is Kana. Thankfully the monsters are all gone, so maybe security isn't as necessary. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I guess celebrities would need heightened security like that. So, as it turns out, there are quite a few people here who, we have met earlier in the game. Firstly is the mayor, obviously, but you'd think he would be here. Hey, I know you two! Yep, it's Mayor Maybell. I remember when I first saw these two here just exploring the campus, I was like, oh wow, Mayor Maybell's back! Like I said much earlier in the playthrough, one thing that I love about the Trail series is that the NPCs and the characters you meet through the game are so memorable that every time they reappear, you just say, oh hey, it's you! There's not a lot of games that give me that feeling. I suppose Majora's Mask and Xenoblade 1, I guess, are some of the few other games that do that for me. But Xenoblade 1 has the affinity chart, so yeah, that makes keeping track of all of the memorable side characters easier. So talking to Mayor Maybell's actually entirely optional, but I like doing it anyway, obviously. I wonder if she was ever in the school play before. Yep, things are going to be pretty embarrassing for Joshua. And Lila even came along too, but she doesn't really speak as often. Yes, there's actually someone named Mr. Effort here. Probably, in my opinion, the weirdest character name in this game. And that's saying a lot, because there's someone named Mrs. Sorbet and someone named Logic, but yeah. Dean's office is obviously empty. So, upstairs, there's actually someone you can meet, but only before a certain point. Oh, joy! It's the winner of Upper Class Tweet of the Year 10 years in a row! Probably not, but he unfortunately gets into places regardless. And yeah, if you look really closely at this wall here, it actually says Our Region Ruin in English. Except I think that there is Japanese. I think it says like Jikoku no wa something? Yeah, that looks Japanese, so yeah. And there's a sign there that says social. Unfortunately, I don't think he will ever follow that advice. Well, we took care of that. We made sure there's no haunted house this year. So that's social studies. And over here, we have natural sciences, where there's something kind of interesting for us, actually. Also, hi there. Yeah, she actually lives in Ruin. You can see her earlier in the game if you want, back in town. And yep, the obvious embarrassment that students get on their parents and siblings coming to big school events. So yeah, this thing right here, this thing is kind of weird. Orbital Compatibility Tester version 1.0014.4082. So we have access to a whole ton of profiles here that we can put in. How about Scheherazade? How the crap do you know her birth dates? This is kind of creepy. Next profile. How about Olivier? Though these two are in each other's company today, there seems to be a distinct awkwardness between them. A secret will be revealed, and if one lies, it will sow the seeds of distrust in the other. If they cannot find their common ground, conversation between them will do no good. Today is the day either for compromise or for giving up altogether. Only time and distance will likely heal the damage done. Well, wherever they are, I hope they take that advice to heart. How about Estelle and Joshua? Okay. How about, just to make Hans happy, Joshua and Chloe? Okay, looks like Chloe's a year younger than Joshua. Interesting. And just for fun, Dorothy and Niall. And the exact same awkward comment from earlier. I actually am not sure if these are fixed for each potential pair or if they're all random. But some of them might actually contain foreshadowing, so maybe they're actually not random. So it might not be entirely obvious how we're supposed to proceed here, but there's actually one person on the campus who we have to meet to progress the story. You do want to make sure that you take care of all of the food first. Yep, that's our old friend there. In fact, there's another old friend here too. Yep, this is the former female officer. Now we know her as Captain Amalthea. So it looks like the Colonel isn't here. I am kind of curious to see if anyone's actually gone to the Doot Schoolhouse. Nope, it's shut. Okay, so hey Professor Alba, for once you're not being attacked by monsters. Yeah, pretty well, but how are you going? Have you had any close calls? You don't seem to have investigated the tower in this region yet. Well, guess you're doing that right now, but that's nowhere near the academy. Why the heck are you here? Ah, right, I guess they have some materials on that, but isn't it better to just check out the place for yourself? Then again, last time he checked out a tower by himself, he got attacked by monsters, so maybe it's better to just sit at a desk and research instead of do the practical thing. At least where he's concerned. Actually, there are already a few exhibitions. We've seen a few of them. But there's also that weird orbital tester that's in the natural sciences classroom. Yeah, he's not from LaBelle from what we've heard, so he definitely didn't go to school here. Very, very true. So, this is kind of your cue that after you escort him, the plot will be progressing forward, so you want to take care of everything you should take care of before that. Well, they're both on school business, I guess. So yeah, like I said before, all the students have their own little personalities and backstories, so I'd recommend talking to everyone when you get the chance. Well, yeah, glad I examined that. I forgot that was in this game. Yeah, once again, suffering from Yusuke syndrome. And not even an escort, we just teleport straight there. Well, yeah, what was your first clue? True, but Joshua picks up the slack for her. And with that, we've successfully taken the professor over to where we needed to go. And he's just engrossed in the exhibit, as usual. So once you've escorted the professor, coming downstairs, the kids from the orphanage have arrived. I believe your only chance to talk to Mayor Maybell is before taking the professors to the social studies room, so glad I showed that conversation. Too much information there. Yes, well, they'll see. About that. Yeah, let's leave that as a surprise, shall we? Yeah, I think they can't continue like that forever. Well, that gives you a quick indicator of what these children like. Joshua always knows just the right thing to say. It does seem like her only option at this point. That does mean the children are going to have to leave this region, but at least you'll have a place to stay. Yeah, by airship, as she's saying. Oh, you'd be surprised. They also seem to have straw hats here, and top hats. Where'd Joshua go? Again, she's preempting me. That's not very responsible of him. The guy who saved them. So, some people were wondering if there are any mistranslations in Polly's dialogue. I think it's just like she's really young and she just... I don't know, her speech isn't quite perfect yet. That's, I think, the vibe they're going for. But if that mysterious silver-haired savior has been seen on campus... we should definitely track them down. That'll be a lead on the arson case. They probably weren't the one who did it, but they were in the area when it happened. At least the matron's with the kids now, so we can afford to go and look for Joshua. Don't worry, it'll soon be time for the play. Yep, let's set the bird scout on this. Especially given how powerful Sieg is against enemies. Old Schoolhouse, though isn't that place locked? Well, no matter, let's head there. Oh, hi Kana, what are you doing here? Yeah, that's just an expression, not literally. Still, considering there are arsonists running around, it does feel like a little bit in bad taste to use an expression like that. Niall doesn't seem to be here right now. Yep, definitely saw something interesting. Let's head back to the Doot Schoolhouse. And it's unlocked.